Hey, 2 weeks in a row.
We have made it.
I think that's the
Yeah.
first time this year.
It
What was that,
might it
Scotty?
might actually be.
Oh,
It might be.
your
It's been
lights.
several
Oh, there
years.
we go.
I was dimming it down a little bit. It's too too bright for the camera, but yeah, 2 weeks in a row, and we have a special guest this week.
Yeah,
Pleased to
everyone,
have
welcome.
Scottie the Fish Freak join us.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to the stream, Scotty. Glad to have you.
Thank
I've been
you,
on your stream before. I think Tanner's been on your
both
stream,
of you.
and now
Yeah.
Absolutely.
we've had you on ours.
Oh, you're crazy.
I love this community. I was in the Fish Fam live stream earlier today. That was really cool. Learning a little bit more about fishfam.link, and some stuff
Yeah.
that they have going on. Looking forward to seeing what all happens with that. But tonight we are back at the Scruffy City Aquatics live stream, and we're going to talk a little Keystone Clash tonight. Uh, for those who maybe don't follow Fish Fam and don't know after this year, because I think it was like one of the biggest events of the year from all the talk online. I mean, with the online community, and the Keystone Clash is a, what do you call it, Scotty? How would you describe it? It's a
Fish
the club of
event.
the club.
It's a fish event. It's almost like a convention.
Yeah,
Um, it really started with being a fish show. But the fish show is really, honestly, just one part of it.
yeah.
It has turned into the largest hobbyist run all species fish show in the country.
Oh wow, that's cool.
If someone knows of a all species hobbyist run fish show in the country bigger than the Keystone Clash, I want to know. Because then I'll stop saying it. Or I'll just make sure it really isn't then.
Well, until you hear about it, we'll definitely call it that. We'll definitely say that it
That's what
is.
to our knowledge.
I know that this last year we started live streaming last year,
Yeah.
and we had questions about the Clash and a couple of other shows or conventions, and we were like we didn't know about these, and we're really excited about them. So hopefully one of these days we can make it up to the Clash. Maybe this year. We're still not going to say no, but
I'm hopeful.
Tanner, before we get too far in, we can go through and say hi to those who are already in the chat.
Yeah, I'll do a quick rundown. We've got Scotty Aquati. Welcome, welcome. Keep keeping aquatics. Thanks for joining us to see you here. Nancy B in Tennessee. I hope those rainbow shine for well. X. The Keystone Clash, of course. We're talking about the Clash.
Yeah.
And let's see. We've got Sean Simic. Bill
Hey,
Meyer,
Sean.
Mayer.
Nice to have you.
Yeah, Sean, I think we met at the, oh goodness, was it the January ETAA meeting? Maybe. Um, and then Geek Boy, welcome. Good to see you. And then Coro Works. Thanks for joining, everybody. Good to see you all in the chat as always.
Geek Boy says Rico's just wrapping up. He's got Lady Rorschach on his spotlight show. It's not what he calls it. What does he call it?
Focus on.
Focus on. I was like, that ain't right. As soon as it came out of my mouth, it's like, that's not what it's called. So he'll be wrapping up here in just a little bit. They've been on. I caught some of that on my way in
Yeah.
today from work. It was really cool hearing some of Lady Rorschach's story, where the name came from. I did catch that part.
She
I
is so
went,
smart. Such
yes.
a smart woman.
Yeah, and she was very generous too. She gave a
Oh,
lot to the Fish Fam Christmas.
yes.
So Keep Keeping says, if it'll go, there it is. I didn't know the Keystone Clash was a thing until someone asked Mitch if he was going. I believe that's how I heard it.
Nice.
So this will be very interesting. Hopefully, yeah.
I hope
We,
so. Setting the expectations high on me here.
well, we did. We had a lot of questions about the Clash. We had people wanting to know if we were going, And we had just come off of it. The April before was the very first Aquaticon, and we were really excited about catching some shows. It didn't work out for us last year,
Right.
but we'll see what happens. Um, I'm just looking. There was another one I was going to read. Well, anyway, we'll get started. Everyone, thank you for joining us for this live stream. We appreciate you being in the chat and all the conversation that takes place. You all are amazing. This year we have had a few breaks, most of them unexpected, and it feels really good to be back on the camera, back on a live stream with you, and just hanging out. And we've got some things Tanner and I have been talking about doing coming up soon that we're looking forward to. But we wanted to talk to Scottie and talk about the Clash because it's something that we know a lot of you might have questions about, might want to hear a little bit more about. I'm really interested in learning a little bit more about where the Clash came from, and Scottie's involvement, where that came from. So uh, you said this started kind of as a fish show to begin with. Was it
Yes.
like a bowl show, or like where people brought their fish on display and there was
Let's see here.
judging, things like
I
that?
actually have notes from.
Ooh,
So I'm gonna miss bits and pieces of it, but I have a stream on my channel with Scott McLaughlin from King and Queen Cichlids,
okay.
who many have probably heard of. And King and Queen Cichlids was a huge um, channel in the hobby, in the fish fam, for many, many years. That he has since gone a different direction. He's more into photography now. He's out of the hobby, but
Okay.
he was one of the. And I'm just looking through my notes from my streams because I actually have some facts written down from the interview with him. Here it is. So Scott McLaughlin from King and Queen Cichlids um, was the founder of the Cichlid Club of York and the first event that we'll
Okay.
just call a clash, not the Keystone Clash, just a clash. Um, and it was in 2014. There were actually two clashes in 2014, January and September. I don't remember 100% about what he said they were back then. But if you watch that stream on my channel, you can learn more about it.
Okay.
In 2015, it became the Clash of the Cichlids. And again, all three of these events were run by Scott McLaughlin. In 2016 and 2017 is when it turned into the Keystone Clash, in which it was run by, I believe it was Liz and Dwayne. Dwayne is also a past president of the Cichlid Club of York. And then in 2018, it continued as the Keystone Clash, 2018, 2019, 2021, 2022. The gentleman from the Aquarium Club of Lancaster County ran it in 2018 and 2019, and then 2021, 22, and 23 are myself. But it was originally it was mostly, I believe, just between the Cichlid Club of York, more of a show for them. But then there's always been some brotherhood and rivalry between the Cichlid Club of York and the Aquarium Club of Lancaster County. We're neighboring clubs, and most people are members of both. And so then it became the Cichlid Club of York is obviously cichlids. Aquarium Club of Lancaster County had a lot of killifish people in it, still does. And if you see in like the logos and stuff like that, you'll see it's a killifish versus cichlid type thing.
Okay.
And that's kind of how it started. And primarily as a fish show, but it's grown into a lot more than that. One of the biggest parts of it right now, well, not right now, but always has been, I should say, is the Give a Kid a Tank event. It's something we are very passionate about. And Aqueon donates to us complete 10-gallon tank setups. And that fish place, that pet place, our local big fish store, well, overall pet store now. It's basically you guys got Walmarts out there?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. It's basically a pet store that's the size of a Walmart.
Okay.
Wow.
That's nice.
It's bigger than PetSmart, Petco. It's bigger than them. But very heavy onto the aquatic side. So they donate a lot of the decorations. And now a lot of people in the fish fam donate the fish for the event. And what we do is we teach the kids how to set up a tank. We start to teach them about the nitrogen cycle, and they go home with a 10-gallon setup, including live fish, all for free. It's completely free to them. And that's a big part of the event. Not many people know about it, but for us, that's a big part. And then,
that's a great outreach.
yeah,
Being
exactly.
able to provide something like that to upcoming aquarists and getting them on the right foot too. That's
right from the get-go.
that's key.
Yeah. No, I think that's awesome and just a great initiative that y'all take.
Yeah.
I think, y'all, I did not know that the history of the origins of the Clash was so long, had a long history. And I think that's, you and everyone else who has put in work into that is just doing a fantastic job.
Yeah.
I would like to make it this year, but it's a little bit of a drive.
Hey, I've driven to Nashville. No excuses. Yeah, I started going in 2018. And I think it was 2018 was my first Clash. And I actually left my best friend's wedding early to drive to it.
That is dedication.
Congratulations. See you later.
Yep, exactly. And I was only there for like a day and a half, I guess it was. I missed most of it, but I absolutely loved it. I helped set up for it and everything like that in the planning stages. I was relatively new to the club then. And then the following year, I was on the committee and really helped with it. And then that's when the gentleman that was running it had to back out of the club and really decrease his involvement in the hobby as a whole because he bought a farm and was raising and homeschooling 2 daughters. And he couldn't do it. And I was the only one crazy enough to volunteer to run it. And that's what it's been. It's now, like a part-time job.
How long has it been at the Morgantown Holiday Inn? It's in Pennsylvania. I don't know if we said that or not.
So conveniently enough, my first year running it was the first year at Morgantown.
Okay.
Not only was I taking it over, it was at a new venue as well. So we're going into our 3rd year there. Our very first year there was, we did not have the expo hall. We only had the hotel portion. So they had the ballroom and their breakfast bistro was closed because of the pandemic. And they weren't really that operational. I mean, it was still, I shouldn't say it was closed. It was partially open, but they weren't using it that much. So we got it, and their breakfast bistro, little miniature restaurant area, was the fish show room. We just completely tore that thing apart and filled it up with fish tanks. And the guy in charge of the food and everything, the head chef, he walked in and he's like, "My bistro." We had a crap ton of fish tanks in that thing, and we had airlines everywhere. It was crazy. It was a lot of fun. But we completely filled up that room for the fish show. And then the ballroom we had for the speaker room and split up. They had a divider, and we had the vendor room in there. And in that vendor room, see, this is why I keep my whiteboard handy, because I keep a lot of notes on this thing. Wait, oh, there we go. There we go. Um, so in what was that? That was 2021. Our vendor room only had 10 vendors taking up 15 vendor spaces, and it was crammed into this little section, which many people in the fish fam might now know as the room where the fish fam pizza party was. That room was our vendor room in 2021. And it was our first time at the venue, but it was a lot better than where it used to be. It used to be in Harrisburg at a Clarion Hotel, and that thing was disgusting. I mean,
That can really bring a show down when it's at a bad
you know,
location.
it's you go into a hotel room and see blood on the walls, and you're like, ugh.
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
It was nasty. But it's a
Yeah,
challenge. It's a challenge finding a venue that will accept us because
right.
we got a lot of water, and
Well, we've
most
dealt.
venues don't like water.
Yeah, we've dealt with that too. When we set up our first, our club's young. When we
Yeah,
set up our first fish swap, we we found a location, and the big reason why we picked it was because it was on a slab,
yeah,
and they didn't have carpet, and
yeah,
we made sure to ask, is it okay if we have a bunch of fish tanks in here, because
yeah.
that's going to be a thing. That's part of what's happening, and they were cool with it. But the location where we meet. To have our meetings, we didn't even ask them. We knew it was a no go with all those tanks.
Yeah, yeah. It's the location we're at now. It's really good. It's a hotel, a Holiday Inn attached to an antique auto mall.
Oh,
So
Oh,
it's a
nice.
whole bunch of huge garages.
Yeah.
Um, it's the one side of each room has a garage door, while the other side along the hallway is glass with glass doors, because they want the people to walk the hallway admiring all the antique cars.
hmm
And attached to that are actually storage garages with little storage closets as well. Um, so it worked out really good because last year we expanded to one of the expo halls, and then this upcoming year we're getting a second one as well. So we have, not only do we have the whole hotel, but and the ballroom there, but we're also going to have both expo halls as well. And the expo halls, they're obviously cement floors. They have
yeah.
water spigots in there for us, and garage doors to open up so people can load in and everything, and it works out really well.
So it started with the fish show. It grew to include the kids, the tank, where they get a tank. Get it. That's what you call it, right? Get a tank.
Give a kid a tank.
Give a kid.
CAT.
Okay,
Yeah,
and then you do aquascaping. You did that last year,
that last year was the first year for
first
that.
year. Okay.
Yeah, and it's a huge hit. Registration went live this year, and last 2 weeks ago, I guess it was. Um, I didn't even know it was live on the website. We have a webmaster that works for us,
Okay.
and he put it live, and within 2 hours of him putting it live, it was sold out.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow.
The first person was Jennifer Weaver. She registered her son on it, and I get the notifications when anyone registers on my phone. I got a notification. Oh, Jennifer Weaver purchased an aquascaping participant spot. And I was like, oh, aquascaping must be live. And then I go online and I see it on Facebook, and then I see it on Instagram, and then I see it on YouTube. Within a half an hour of it being live on social media on Facebook, it was sold out.
Wow.
Wow. That's
with a waiting
awesome.
with a waiting list.
Yeah, people
And
love
then,
doing that.
yeah,
Yeah,
You know,
I remember I did that at the what was it called? Uh,
Aquaticon.
Aquaticon. Yes, true. I blinked. I
But
did that, and that was a lot of fun.
like they announced it and everybody signed up within a few minutes. Now they did it at the show though. They announced it that it
Mhm.
was open at the show and
Yeah.
people signed up. Tanner, I think you were like one of the last ones. I remember you standing in the booth with me at the ETA's booth and you're like, I think I want to do it. I was like, go do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It-
remember the tank size that I wanted to do was already filled out, and I was like, "Well,
Yep.
crap."
it's it's I guess the way we do it is very appealing, obviously, because we tripled the cost of it this year to $75. So it's still cheap. $75 isn't bad for an aquascape
Yeah.
competition,
Mm-mm.
especially when you're going to be taking home a 17-gallon low iron rimless tank and
Oh,
all the
yeah.
contents, including a light and a filter.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
That
incredible
makes it
deal.
appealing as well.
That is very appealing. Chattanooga Ed says he signed up for it.
He made it. Yep, he did make it. Indeed.
We've
Um,
got a number of people in the chat that we've
Oh,
not
yeah.
said hello to. So hello everyone. You all, it's great to see you all here.
and a lot of them are already registered for this year's Clash, or I recognize from being there last year. Quite a few of them, actually. And then I haven't really seen any questions yet. I've been trying to keep an eye on it for you.
Yeah.
What else do we have? So we have the Give a Kid a Tank, the aquascaping competition, the fish show, which also the fish show does include photography and artwork, 2D and 3D. We're adding this year, which gets quite a bit of participation as well. It's all species. So there is saltwater, there is inverts and stuff like that as well, plants in the fish show.
Oh, wow.
We have 51 classes this year. It changes year to year. Basically, what we see in participation will dictate what it will be the following year, what classes.
Right.
I think the lowest it's been that I remember is like 45, 47, and then 52 or 3 is the biggest. Sometimes we get a lot of killifish participation and stuff like that. But
Okay. So
every
by
class,
classes, you're talking about the fish show.
yes, the fish show. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes, the fish show, and every class in the fish show gets a first, second, and third award. And then we also have the best of show, reserve of show, best cichlid, best killie, people's choice, and different stuff like that as well, which are the bigger awards, of course. And we do cash prizes as well, in addition to the trophies and everything. And then the aquascaping gets a first, second, and third as well. And we got the hospitality room. It's everybody loves the hospitality room, of course, because of alcohol, but also it's just a great place to go and sit and nerd out about fish, geek out with fish, with other fish nerds, and sitting around those tables, eating some chips, drinking some beers, talking about fish and everything else in life. It's a hopping place. And
Oh, yeah.
every year we have to get a bigger hospitality room. So, we went from being, one year it was a hotel room. The next year it was 2 hotel rooms combined. Then it was a conference room this past year. This year it's going to be half of the ballroom, where to be exact, the half that was the 2021 vendor room, and then the Fish Fan Pizza Party is now going to be the hospitality room.
So who gets access to the hospitality room?
Anybody with a full registration.
That's awesome.
Anybody with a full registration. And the beer is unlimited in there.
I'm sold.
That'd be a big draw, I'm sure.
It is. It is. And people sometimes complain or criticize us because we charge $100 for registration this year. And And the goodie bag, the shirt, and 1 or 2 beers equates the value of your registration.
Mm.
So, and this year we're doing really good with our sponsorships for from businesses. The goodie bag alone might equate $100 this year. There's a good chance.
Yeah, well, that's cool. That
Yeah.
when you get to take something with you and you know it, that always makes it a little bit
Yeah.
easier to pony up that, that fee or that entry fee. So that's cool. Do you all do any like panels or talks or anything like that?
Yes, indeed. So, it changes year to year. We try to mix it up every year. This year we have an amazing lineup that I am extremely excited for. So we got Jennifer Williams. Most people know Jennifer Williams, especially if you're in the aquascaping world. We have Kelly Foreman. We have Bentley Pasco. We have Andreas Tonke. We have Jason Adams, Primetime Aquatics. And Dan from Dan's Fish, Dan Hodneck. I don't think I'm missing anyone. Jason, Kelly, Jen, Andreas. I think that's everybody. Those are our speakers. So Jen's doing 1, everyone else is doing 2. So that's a decent. I mean, we had to extend the hours this upcoming year because of how many speakers we're going to have. But we want to make sure everyone gets the value and gets to, we don't want anyone to be able to say, oh, it wasn't worth it.
Yeah. Well,
So,
I'm looking for it. Someone said, oh, it's Boots and Cats says
yeah,
$100 for a full weekend is a good deal. And that is a
yeah,
great point. We're not talking
Yeah.
about a 1-day show. How
yeah.
many days does this take place?
It's going to start Friday at 9 a.m. The first talk is Friday at 9 a.m. And it's going to go through Sunday. Sunday, we have an all-day auction.
Oh,
And
wow.
and that $100 includes your bidder card for the auction. And then it has, let me think here. In addition to those speakers, this year we're also going to be doing 2 panel chats.
Okay.
We're still working on the names, but I can say who's going to be a part of them because they've all committed. So either Friday or Saturday, I forget which is which, but one of them, Friday at 8:30, is going to be one. Saturday at 8:30 is going to be the other. The one night, it's going to be Bentley, Dan, and Kelly talking about something in relation to rainbow fish. It's going to be a panel chat. And it will be interactive. And then the other night is going to be Dr. Ted Coletti, the tub guy, who has a book, and Sue Harkey, who's also a tub person as well, Peter Nitch, who I believe is more of a pond guy, and Kelly Foreman. And that, I guarantee you, will be a fun chat as well. And they're going to be talking about tubs, ponds, koi, outdoor stuff like that. And that's included, and that's just added value.
So Bunny Viper says beer, ooh. And wanted to know about other drinks. And Ed says last time there was water, pop, and wine coolers. By pop, he means Cokes.
Soda.
By Cokes, I mean soda.
Sodas. Yes. We call them sodas down here.
Yeah. We call them soda too.
I just call them Coke.
Yeah, a drink. Yes. So we will have all of that in there as well. Yes. And by popular demand, we are working on ice cream.
Oh, I've seen a lot of people post about ice cream in the chat, and I guess that's what they were talking about. You've already been leaking that out there. You're going to have ice cream now, even if even if you just go and bring back, some creamsicle pops or something, you're gonna have to have something to hand out.
I'm just gonna have a ice cream truck in the parking lot.
That's awesome. That'll be good.
That
That's how
sounds
you do
great.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
the food trucks too. Contacting
Yeah.
some of those food trucks and telling them to be there. Do you all have anything set up for food or
Oh,
something in
yes,
the
we do.
works?
So there
Okay.
is a restaurant in the hotel,
Okay.
which with amazing food. They're a little pricey, and that's coming from me though. I'm a cheap ass, but their food is delicious. I love their food. Then we're also going to have a food cart in the hallway Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and they have really good food there as well.
Okay.
The we had food in the hospitality room last year, but it kind of blew up to more than it was intended and ended up costing us a lot of money.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it ended up being a place where everybody went for basically 2 or 3 meals a day. And that's not what it was intended to be, and was
Yeah.
a bit expensive. And or not unfortunate, but what I try to remind everyone is the Clash is a fundraiser for the
Mhm.
two clubs, the Aquarium Club of Lancaster County and the Cichlid Club of York co-host the event, and it is nothing more than a fundraiser
Mhm.
for the two clubs. Our annual operating budget comes from the Keystone Clash, and that's what it's about. And so when we raise a price, it's not because we're trying to make a profit. We're
Mhm.
trying to have the club survive, and that's what it comes down to.
Right.
So yeah, there's going to be food, the hospitality room, the speakers, aquascaping, fish show, and an award ceremony. Raffles. Uh, the raffles are absolutely amazing. I already know there's going to be an RODI unit as a raffle item. We do like whole baskets, whole like 20-gallon aquarium setups, and the raffles aren't expensive. And
Mhm.
we are doing a promotion this year every week where every week it's something different, but like last week it was if you did a $75 aquascaping sponsorship, you would get 7 or 8 raffle tickets for free and be entered into a prize as well. I think this week it's sponsoring speakers, maybe, if I remember correctly, and you get 10 tickets for raffles. And I mean, some of these items are like $300-400 value.
Yeah.
And then Sunday's the auction. It's absolutely huge. Um, we this year we had to do something a little different just because of how long the auction's starting to take and stuff like that,
Right.
and it wasn't being very profitable for the people that were selling or the clubs.
Mhm.
But so no dry goods this year unless it's a donation. So it's mostly going to be a live goods auction, but you get some rare fish in that auction.
Oh, I
And
can imagine.
I mean, we're talking 400 to 600 lot auctions every year.
Wow.
It's huge, absolutely freaking huge.
Yeah. Keystone Clash says that the speaker sponsors promotion ends tonight.
Oh, so speaker sponsorships are really important for us. They're $100 a piece, and it costs a lot of money to bring people to the Clash, the
Yep.
speakers, because we pay them, we cover their expenses and their travel, everything. And we have people coming from the West Coast. Um, we have someone coming from Germany. It's
Wow.
kind of expensive.
Yep.
And
That's a little pricey.
yes, it is. And something that um, like I said, we want the registrants to get the let's try that again. The participants to get the most for their money and to have a good time and to learn. And so we try to bring in a very diverse group of speakers that are going to teach you about whatever you want to learn about. And, it costs some money. So we look for sponsorships to help with that. And that's why we do the promotions to encourage them as well. I see keeping aquatics, Germany, that would be expensive. Cross country alone is expensive, yes. But Andreas Tonke is a pleco expert to the extent that he has a pleco named after him. And that's not his doing. That's the scientists and biologists and everyone coming to him and saying, we appreciate your help with this species and we want to name it after you.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Well, I know a lot of people in the chat sound like they're going. They're making plans right now for their evenings for dinner already in the chat. It's making me really jealous.
Earlier, the event starts Friday, and there's Ed saying right there he's coming Wednesday, and I think Annette is coming Tuesday, I believe, and some people are staying until Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah. Now are the rooms for the hotel already booked up and people need to be looking at other locations, or are there still rooms available? Not yet. Okay.
Getting close. It was a big battle that I had to get more hotel rooms, and because every year in the past we have sold out. Every year we sell out that hotel, plus some, and I'm trying to get them to give me every hotel room they have in that building, but they won't do it because they have to save some for their members and some for long term, and they plan on having some that are going to flood and stuff like that. So they won't give them all to me. But we got a little creative this year, and some of us became members of the hotel and got our hotel rooms that way and actually saved a couple dollars before the Keystone Clash hotel block was made. So we got our hotel block that is per the contract, but we also got some outside of it. So that helps so that more people can stay at the venue itself. The cost is locked in if you go through our website, but you got to pay attention to the dates. And some of the date ranges may not be available anymore. So you might have to be a little creative. But there are a few venues that are really close by, within a mile or two, that people can stay.
And the dates, the official dates of the Clash, September 22nd through the 24th.
Yes, sir. Yep. I recommend everybody gets there Thursday night.
Okay.
Thursday night's the best time to get there. Unless you're going to be making extra plans.
I think that's when everybody was going for wings or something.
Yes. I have heard that. But it's it's a good time, and the fish fam alone is making it bigger and bigger every year.
Yeah, it definitely. I mean, from our point of view, like I said, we had not been live streaming long, and am I still here?
You're still there.
New setup. I happen to. Hold on. All right, I've lost part of my setup. I don't exactly know what I kicked, but I'll let you guys talk for a moment. I'll be right back.
All right.
It is never a live stream unless we have some technical difficulties.
Of course. Same thing happens with me every time, for sure.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and finish what I think Mitch was going to say. We started live streaming last year and just started hearing, the Clash. And we're like, what's the Clash? What is everybody talking about with this?
Yeah.
And I think I heard about it, maybe mid-August, and I was like, oh, that sounds so cool.
Yeah.
And it's just really incredible to see how it has grown for y'all and how much, support.
Tell me about it. Yeah.
I think that's incredible. I mean, this community is just really remarkable. It's a very, you can be. It's a very close knit community that people just help each other out. It's
My,
great to see.
so 2021, my first year running it, I'm thinking, okay, we're coming out of a pandemic, we're at a new venue, we don't have that much space, we're not going to have a big event because it's fresh out of the pandemic. Everybody's still nervous and everything. And, we're thinking, 90 people, maybe 100 if we're lucky. And that's probably going to be about it. And we had 120 people. And
That's
we're
awesome.
like, what the heck? We are not prepared for this. And then the following year, 238 people.
Wow.
Wow.
Double. We
That's
doubled
great.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
phenomenal.
and right now, as of right now, we're already at 145, and it's February 28th.
Yeah.
And have already surpassed that 2021 number. It's
Wow.
crazy.
That's good. Yeah, well, people are wanting to get together. When
Yeah.
we did back to our very first swap, we had the same reservations. We weren't sure. I mean, wasn't so much a reservation. We got a pretty good deal on our location, and we were like, if we're the only ones here and we just hang out all day, it'll be a great time. And we'll
Yeah.
just have to make sure we buy some stuff from vendors. But
Yeah.
we had 100 people come through that first swap, and I
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. If we'd had a quarter of that, I would have been impressed.
Yeah,
Right.
So
that first swap was almost. I had a table at it, and it was almost overwhelming. I was like, what? I was like, people just kept coming in.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Matt
it's
came in. He must be talking to me. Hey, good looking.
but it's great to have these opportunities and to be able to get together like that. That's the part that really drew our attention to it, was the amount of people who were there having a good time and sharing it online, and that social aspect of the clash um, put it on my radar as something that I want to do within the hobby. If not this year, I'm going to try to do it next year.
And you
Um,
never know who you may see at the event.
yeah,
People that we've had in the past, either just stopping in to say hi or speaking, or are local to the area. Rachel O'Leary, she usually stops in when she's able to,
that's cool.
because she's been a big part of that event over the years. Lately she's had a lot of life issues, health issues going on. But even when she's not participating in the event, she usually stops by and says hi. Chris Biggs, he's been there once or twice. Um, and just other big names in the hobby. From all over the world. We have people
Yeah.
coming from one, two, three, at least three people coming from Canada, and sometimes even further. And just
Wow.
in this chat alone, accounts for people coming from literally all over the country. There's people in the chat from the West Coast that are coming.
Yeah.
I think Saints Dust is in one of the Dakotas. Then you got the people down in Texas, Tennessee, down there, Florida, everywhere.
Yeah, Saints Dust says they're driving 22 hours.
Yep.
That's impressive.
And then Nancy
Yep.
B in Tennessee says we need a big fish show in Nashville.
Yeah,
I'll be there.
agree with
I'll
that.
be there.
yeah,
That would be a huge goal, an awesome thing to be able to pull off. Maybe down the road.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be
that'll
opposed to
amazing.
trying to get that going.
yeah. And we've talked about the two new clubs in Tennessee, and then maybe another club that we're real close with, getting together and putting together a swap, and then see where that goes, see where things go. Very much trying to keep it just like you said, something that supports the clubs
Yeah.
and helps fund the activities and things. So
It it helps a lot because clubs want to what keeps a club going. One of the biggest things are good speakers, and
Mm-hmm.
it costs a lot of money to bring a speaker in every month. And it's great when you have the knowledge of your club members to share,
Mm-hmm.
but you only have so many, and there's only so many topics that they can talk about. And over time, it's going to get stagnant. And you got to bring in people from outside your local area, and that costs money. But that's how you keep the clubs going. And how are you going to do that? Well, you got to raise money. You can only raise so much money from your monthly auction and from your raffles, because you have operating expenses. A lot of times you got to pay for your venue that you have your monthly meetings in and stuff like that. And you got to pay for the snacks and the soda and stuff like that, and the giveaways. So a lot you can get donated, but not all of it by any means. So how is a club going to afford to bring in people from all over the country to talk at their monthly meetings? So you got to have an additional fundraiser, and one of ours is the Keystone Clash.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a great event, and I'm looking forward to just seeing what comes out of it again this year. Seeing how everybody's sharing what a good time they're having. I'm sure they're going to have a great time, and lots of people in the chat going to be there for sure, and that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean this, the vendor room. I didn't even talk about the vendor room this year.
Oh yeah, let's hear about the vendor room.
We have a vendor room already that is going to have 20 different vendors / hobbyists taking up 26 spaces.
Wow.
And all 17 of those spaces are 10 by 10s, which is pretty big. And then 3 of them are 6 by 8s. Now, that's what has been purchased already, but I already know of 3 or 4 additional. So let's raise that number up to about 24, 25 vendors that I already know of, that are going to take up over 30 vendor spaces.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just as of right now. Imagine if we get one a month in addition to those. It's going to be a big vendor room.
Now, the vendors, are they typically like local breeders or
we have people
companies
coming all over the country.
All over the country. Okay.
All over the country.
And this is livestock?
Everything. You name
everything.
It. Plushies, aquatic arts and crafts, axolotls, discus, angelfish, plants, equipment, shrimp. I mean, people come from all over. There's people that will buy 3, 4, 5 vendor spaces and set up fish racks in there.
That's nice.
That's cool.
It's huge. It's really huge. Ed wants me to say where I work. I work at our local aquarium in the safety department.
In the safety department.
Oh, that is really cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So out your way, you have what do you have? You have Newport Aquarium is out your way, I think, right?
I'm not.
I know in Tennessee,
north of you.
Yeah, we have the Ripley's.
We've got the Ripley's and the Chattanooga Aquarium, which is the
Tennessee
Aquarium.
Yeah.
So I work for the same company that owns Newport Aquarium, which is north of you guys.
Okay.
I guess that's Kentucky, maybe.
Might be. There is a Newport, Tennessee, but I don't know of an aquarium there.
Yeah, Newport's fairly small, I think.
Yeah.
Tennessee? Yeah.
I wouldn't see there being a big aquarium in Newport.
No, I think there's a Newport, Kentucky as well.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then, also you have Dollywood.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same parent company.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of work going on. Dollywood's growing leaps and bounds. They need to put an aquarium. Well, I guess they couldn't do that with Ripley's, or shouldn't do that with Ripley's.
Yeah,
Ripley's got a pretty good thing going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am excited. I believe Nancy B was talking about it earlier that chat. The Tennessee Aquarium is adding a new exhibit, or not exhibit, but gallery of native fish, which should be
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I
really
was
cool to
looking for
see.
that. I saw her comment earlier, and I was trying to get back to it, and now I've found it. Yeah, it is the Tennessee Aquarium. I saw that online today on Facebook, and
Mhm.
I haven't been to the Chattanooga Aquarium in a while. I still call it the Chattanooga Aquarium.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't either, and that's been um, that's something we can you can make a day trip out of.
Yeah,
Be very cool. Chattanooga Aquarium is awesome.
yeah. I spoke with someone at the Ripley's Aquarium about getting a tour put together for the club. So
Nice.
that would be really cool. I was like,
I
we're a
did
bunch of
that
nerds.
for
We want to see the filtration.
yeah. I did that for the Alishon just popped in the chat. He is from one of my other clubs, Bucks County Aquarium Society, and I put together a tour with a intense behind the scenes tour um, last month, this month, recently
Okay.
in the last 30 days or so
Okay.
for the
They're
club.
saying Newport, Kentucky is right across the river from Cincinnati. So I know where that's at.
Yeah, yeah. So we own
Okay.
that aquarium as well, but it is
Tennessee Aqua lives in Newport, Tennessee.
okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, Nancy B. Check. I'll make sure we let the. I'm sure we'll have plenty of spots. I'll make sure we let Tanner know about that trip when we get that planned. I can't. I got to find the guy's card. We talked earlier this year, late last year, about it. We've got to catch up.
Nice, nice. Yeah, and speaking of Bucks County, the Bucks County Aquarium Society annual auction is April 22nd. Um, and again, we have people coming from all over to this event. It's been a few years since we've had it. It
Uh
is
huh.
a famous auction. If you search BCAS annual auction, you'll see all kinds of YouTube videos about it. Fish Fam comes to it. It's bigger than the Keystone Clash auction.
Wow.
Wow.
You know, I was saying like 500-600 for the Clash auction. The Bucks County auction is closer to 1,000.
Okay, so when we did Fish Fam Christmas, one of our giveaways was a it was grab bag. What it
A
was some
swag
kind
bag.
of
A
what was that?
swag bag. Swag bag.
Swag bag. And
Yeah.
I was wondering if that group was part of the Keystone. So it's something separate, but in the same area.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So the area of it's Delaware, Pennsylvania, but for what we're talking about, it's Pennsylvania. I live in Delaware, but
Okay.
everything's in Pennsylvania. Nothing's in Delaware. Um, so Aquarium Club of Lancaster County, which I am president of this year, co-host the Clash with the Cichlid Club of York, which Blake Stevens, who you see in chat a lot, and with on stream with me, is
Yeah.
president of that club.
Okay.
So we co-host the Clash. Right next to us is the Bucks County Aquarium Society, which Callie, Superfish Nerd, is president of. I'm vice president of, and Alishon is, I don't know what his official title is. He does a little bit of everything and is absolutely amazing. So he's a
Everybody's
big
got to have
part of
one of
that club
those.
as well.
So for this annual auction, I'm just curious,
Uh-huh.
how many auctioneers do you all have to go through to
A
auction
lot.
1,000 items?
A lot.
What?
A lot. Yeah.
And so there's probably several auctions going on at one time.
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Wow. So this is
Yeah.
like an all weekend event.
No. One day. It's an all-day event, and we fly.
Yeah.
It's a fast-paced auction, but
Cool.
a lot of good stuff. I think he said last night he has donations from local companies, 200 lots. Donations that will be doing.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then plus what everybody brings. It's going to be big.
Mystery
How's
Snow
the fish
Guardians
tuber
is
lounge?
asking,
Okay.
how's the Fish Tuber Lounge?
So I forgot something. So we do a fish tuber lounge, a streaming room, which is going to be a conference room like it was last year, thanks to the sponsorship of FishFam.link.
Okay.
FishFam.link
Awesome.
fully sponsored that room because I was starting to stress a little bit. We were going to have it in one of the expo halls or one of the other rooms, but it was brought to our attention that there's not good internet there in the areas where we're looking to do it. So in order to have it where it was last year, we needed to have it fully sponsored because it's additional cost. And FishFam.link was generous enough to do that instantly. And we now have a streaming room, which everybody really liked last year, for everyone to do their streams.
That's good. Keeping Aquatics says, I heard the secret to getting deals at auctions was to be there for the ending hours. Is this fact or fiction?
Fact.
Fact for auctions, because everybody who already spent their money
Yeah.
are just sitting back and watching everything that's going for deals. And
Mhm.
at the swap, that's what I've noticed too. That first hour is the golden hour for selection, and that last hour is the golden hour for deals. So you
Yep.
want to be there at the first and the last.
Yep.
I remember the last couple hours. I was like, "Here, just I don't want to come home with these, please."
Yeah.
Just, I was like, "I'll give them to you."
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I love auctions. It's one of my favorite parts of the monthly meetings. Lately, I've been doing really good, taking some stuff there, and to the auctions, specifically tangerine tiger shrimp. They've been. I put 5 or 6 of them in a bag, and they're going for over $20.
Those are very cool shrimp.
Yeah, which for me just completely babbles my mind. But I'm usually that cheap person in the auction when it comes to bidding. Everyone knows when you hit $10, I have my hand up 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 oh, nope, I'm out.
Nope, down. Yeah.
Not happening.
Well, it's really cool that FishFam.link FishFam was it FishFam.link or FishFam that donated the
.link, FishFam.link.
.link. Okay.
Sponsored the streaming room. Yes.
Okay, took care of the streaming room. So all of us who can't be there can expect content because all of you who are there have a place to go stream. There's no excuses for when we're all waiting around. Like, I didn't schedule anything for this weekend because I'm going to be in front of my computer watching what's going on at the Keystone Clash.
And I encourage everyone to look, like now, do a search, Keystone Clash, and look at the videos from the past. There's videos from like the first year on there, I believe, that Scott did from King and Queen Cichlid. And the same for the Bucks County Aquarium Society annual auction. Scott and who else? Michael's Fish Room and Susie Q. They've all been a part of the local events. And if you're not able to attend, but you are feeling generous, please consider doing one of the sponsorships. We need it. The hospitality room is still very low on sponsorships. The speakers are very low on sponsorships. I think that's them. Yeah. Those are the biggest ones that we're running low on.
Okay. I see Susan is gone. We are almost done. It's almost time for us to end. But I did see FishFam.link wanted to know if Blake got the lanyards.
I have not heard from him today, and it is past his curfew, so he's probably sleeping, so I don't want to ask.
Yeah.
I didn't hear from him, though, so I'm going to think no.
I've got to get on those lanyards, the FishFam.link lanyards. I've seen those around. Those are really awesome.
Well, I'll tell you what there, Mitch. If you come to the Keystone Clash, you are going to get a FishFam.link lanyard with your badge.
Nice.
Not only did FishFam.link sponsor the YouTube room, but he also is providing all of the lanyards for the badges for the Keystone Clash event, which will make him a platinum sponsor.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That's great. Great things coming from FishFam.link. And I know they're working on other stuff.
Oh yeah.
So just further making it better and better for the community. It's one of the great parts about being in this community is that everybody is just so giving of their time and resources and money. So
Yeah.
if you're interested in helping out the Clash, where should people go to find out more about how they can sponsor?
KeystoneClash.com/sponsor. I
All
think
right,
that was a guess.
there we go. If that doesn't get you there, you can email.
It will be KeystoneClash.com. I know that part for a fact.
Yeah,
And
go to
then
KeystoneClash.com.
yeah, KeystoneClash.com, and in the chat, your wonderful mods have been dropping the links to it as well.
Yep, it's
So
in there. All right.
and then I encourage everyone to follow all of the social media platforms from the Keystone Clash so you get notifications when different stuff goes live, such as the aquascaping competition. And you can see all of those links at fishfam.link.
All right. Well, while we're saying our goodbyes, Zen Ginger, thank you for the links. I've seen you post links. I don't know if there was anybody else, but all the mods, anybody who's in here who's
Yep.
been posting things, thank you. If you would put Eric Wyrock is going live next. I heard him say today he was going live. So if you want to
Yes.
put that link there so people can find it and go over to his stream. But Scotty, thank you for joining us. Thank you for
Thank
telling
you.
us a little bit more about the Clash. Hope we answered some questions and help people. Maybe some people were on the fence about going and now they know. Make sure
I
you let
hope
us
so.
know that you're going.
I hope so.
All right. Well, that's going to be it. I hope everyone enjoys their tanks, and we'll see you around in the chats.
See you, everyone.
Bye, everybody.